JUNCTION, Oregon. This is NBC 16 News at 5.
Lane Community College is laying off hundreds of temporary hourly employees amid the coronavirus pandemic. Good evening and thank you for joining us for NBC 16 at 5. I'm Jacqueline Mazer. LCC will cut about 400 jobs. 100 of those have not been active since the fall term. Chief Resources Officer Shane Turner says every department has been hit since Governor Brown's mandate was enacted, banning large gatherings and forcing school closures. Among those largely impacted are custodians who have had fewer shifts due to less events. Turner says there are plans to reinstate sick leave balances for those who return to work within a certain amount of time. LCC will also provide tuition waivers for staff who want to take additional courses. Spring classes will still happen under the remote learning online format. Plus, Willamette also announces a temporary layoff of 288 part-time and seasonal employees. Recreational programs, playgrounds, gyms, pools, and upcoming summer camps are closed due to the coronavirus pandemic. Willamette superintendent says part-time employees don't have paid time off, but they have created a COVID-19 bank. Laid-off staff will receive paychecks starting April 7th. They are eligible to file for unemployment in the meantime. The plan is to rehire employees at a later date. Congress is working to pass a stimulus package to help laid-off workers desperate for cash as businesses continue to struggle economically. Alice Barr breaks it all down from Washington.
Help is on the way. That's the message from Congress today as the Senate and White House finally reach a bipartisan deal for a $2 trillion emergency relief package.
A fight has arrived at our shores. We did not seek it. We did not want it. But now we're going to win it.
The bill sends a one-time $1,200 check directly to Americans who make $75,000 a year or less.
We can now call it a bill that puts workers first, not corporations.
The package also includes more than $350 billion to help small businesses, $500 billion for major corporate loans, $200 billion for domestic priorities like transportation, childcare, seniors, and veterans, and critically, $100 billion of relief funding for hospitals. As states keep raising the alarm, they are quickly running out of protective gear for healthcare workers and hospital beds to treat a rising tide of patients.
Where are we on that? Beds, we may need 140,000. We have 53,000. That's the existing capacity of hospitals.
The bill also bolsters unemployment benefits and expands them to workers not typically covered like freelancers. And it bars businesses run by President Trump or members of Congress from receiving the aid.
There will be transparency and accountability to allocate these taxpayer funds.
An economic care package from Capitol Hill to main streets all over the country. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
You can find more details and the latest developments on the stimulus bill on our website, NBC16.com, our Facebook page at KMTR News, and on our app, KMTR News, on your mobile device. Well, 2 more women have died from the coronavirus in Oregon, bringing the total to 10, one in Clackamas County and another in Marion County. Statewide, there are now 266 cases, the majority being in Washington, Marion, and Multnomah counties. Lynn County has 25 cases. Deschutes has 10 cases, and Benton has 6. Here in Lane County, there are 5 cases, 3 in Douglas County, and no cases so far in Coos County. Testing capabilities are ramping up here in Lane County. Lane County Public Health spokesperson Jason Davis says the State Health Lab and Quest, a Eugene lab, have doubled their testing capabilities. Davis says the county is also working with research labs to come on board in the next few weeks.
Part of the slow process of getting those research labs up and running for a local testing option was contingent on making sure that they had the proper equipment. It takes a little bit of time to requisition that equipment or get that equipment in and available for usage.
So far, 222 tests were conducted here in Lane County. That number is likely much higher because negative results come in slower than the positive results. Also, some private labs do not relay the number of negative test results. Davis says Lane County is working to update these numbers to reflect a more accurate number of tests taken. Now, as a reminder, Lane County Public Health urges people with any coronavirus-related questions to contact their call center and not their emergency departments. That number is on your screen, 541-682-1380. The call center is open daily from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Local school districts wait on plans from the State Board of Education on how to move forward once classes resume on April 28th. Districts are advised to figure out what curriculum will look like in the future. During this month, Eugene, Springfield, and Bethel School District staff are working to help with meals, childcare, and supplemental education. Each school district currently has online resources to keep students engaged at home. Starting April 6th, all students will have online coursework before going back to normal classes on the 28th. Governor Brown announces most Oregonians will now have until July 15th to file their personal income tax. Last week, we reported the IRS also extended the federal filing deadline back to July 15th for all returns that were due April 15th. Well, moving on to a first look at weather, NBC 16's Heather Melendez joins us now. Hey, Heather, nice to see you.
Hi, Jacqueline. Well, we saw plenty of sunshine today. Definitely made me peppy, but we did allow some drier conditions to really roll on in for western Oregon. Our rain totals for today were on the lighter side. With all of that sunshine, we did manage to see almost a 10th down in Roseburg. Eugene was on the lighter side as well, but just a couple of raindrops in Corvallis. Right now, temperatures are in the 50s along the I-5 corridor and a little bit cooler along the coast, but as we start to head into those nighttime hours, we are going to be near freezing tonight. Corvallis seeing 31 and Eugene 33, so definitely time to turn on those heaters for tonight. We'll manage to see some sunshine for tomorrow, but we are going to warm up back into the 60s. I'll let you know what to expect for your full week in my full weather forecast. Jacqueline?
All right, sounds good. Just excited there was some sun out there today. Well, hospitals are pushing for more people to be more mindful before rushing to the emergency room during the coronavirus pandemic. PeaceHealth says if someone is having a life-threatening emergency, of course, call 911 as usual. But when it comes to non-life-threatening situations, such as a cough, fever, or a physical injury, they ask you to call before going to the emergency room. This helps staff direct you to the proper place to receive medical care and allows them to reduce the risk of exposure for their patients. PeaceHealth has increased their phone triage efforts. You can get direct medical advice from an RN over the phone. Then they can help you determine your next step, whether that's seeing a provider or going to an urgent care. Local mental health services are seeing more people stressed as they try to cope with the coronavirus pandemic. The Eugene nonprofit, the Elrod Center, is experiencing an uptick in calls. Our Cassandra Gutierrez joins us live in the studio with the details tonight. Cassandra, you heard from counselors at the center. What did you find out?
Jacqueline, unfortunately, in the last month, 2 teens have taken their own lives. Now, to be clear, we don't know the reasons for those suicides, but to help prevent suicidal ideation, the Elrod Center continues to provide their services online during the global pandemic. The nonprofit is available to help and direct people to where they can get help, whether they are insured or not. Elrod Center's professional counselor, Marianne Stigler, tells us ways to keep positive. She suggests staying active and learning a new skill to take your mind off of things.
Be present in the moment. When we're present in the moment, we can't worry about the future because we're focused on the present. And when we can look around, we can choose how we see the things around us. We can either see them as bleak and the negative, or we can choose to see the positive.
The Elrod Center has seen an uptick in calls from those who are unemployed. This, as we have seen hundreds of local layoffs, all due to the coronavirus. There are several local services for anyone looking to support during this time, including PreventionLane.org. The National Suicide Prevention Lifeline is also available 24/7. Their number is right here on the screen. Now, for a list of local services, you can check out our webpage. That's NBC16.com. Jacqueline?
All right, Cassandra, thank you for that report. Well, a Springfield attorney and her family are making great use of their time by making medical masks for the community. Ashley Weiss serves as the Junction City Municipal Court judge, but with the court closed, Weiss is revving up her 30-year-old sewing machine and is making masks for doctors, nurses, and first responders in the Junction City area. Weiss says she is part of a Lane County Facebook group that has about 1,000 followers, all trying to make up the deficit in medical masks.
There are people driving all over, dropping off fabric, picking up masks, people who can cut fabric but not sew, sew but not cut. So people all over trying to help where we can.
Ashley decided she wanted to do something that was productive for the community, something that would help in this effort and help kind of curtail this. Said you're doing great. Another 6
We says it's not Rosie the Riveter anymore, but Susie the seamstress who is coming to the rescue. Junction City Police Chief Bob Morris dropped by the house this morning to accept the latest batch of medical masks from the Weiss family. Well, here's a quick look at places that are now empty with the governor's stay-at-home orders in place. This is what the lots at Valley River Center and Gateway looked like in Eugene and Springfield. With many people staying at home and retailers closed, usually busy parking lots are now, for the most part, well, empty. Coming up next on NBC 16 at 5, truck drivers are facing new challenges along the I-5 corridor, how Governor Brown's new orders are impacting truckers.